Alright, in this video we'll be taking a look at lists and how to add things to lists and how to create lists. We've already done a little bit of work with lists in maybe the first couple of apps that we did, but we didn't examine them kind of closely. Okay, so we'll start with making a list. So say we're making some kind of recipe, so we want an ingredient list. So we can call the list whatever we want. This is just a variable, just like any other variable. So we can give it a name and say for an ingredient list, I think variable name ingredients makes sense. Okay, so ingredients equals. So far it's the same as any other variable, in that we have variable name equals, and then we're going to assign something into that variable. In this case, we want to make just an empty list because we want to add things into it. To make an empty list, well, to make any list, we make square brackets, so left square bracket, right square bracket, and then inside those square brackets, we just put nothing. We just leave it like that. Now, if we wanted to make a list that already had stuff in it, then we would put stuff in here. But for now, we just want to make an empty list. And so here we go. Ingredients equals square bracket, nothing inside. And we can also print out lists. And when we print out lists, it does print it out in kind of the list format. I'm not sure if we have done that before, but pretty easy. Print, and we'll run that, and you can see square brackets with nothing inside. Okay. Now, it's not too good for us. It's not much use for us to have a list with nothing inside, of course, because we want to add some ingredients here. Okay, so how do we add ingredients? Well, we put the name of the list, the name of the variable rather. In this case, it's called ingredients, and we say dot append, and then round brackets. Ingredients dot append round brackets. And inside that round bracket, we want whatever it is that we want to add to the list. In this case, it's going to be a string, and we'll say wasabi. Okay, and this time that should have gone into the list. So if we print ingredients again, let's see what we get. And so we have a list here with wasabi inside. Let's add something else. Ingredients.append rice. Okay, and if we run it now, of course we will have two things in our list. One is wasabi and one is rice. Okay, so far so good. Let's do one more thing, which is, let's do a couple more things. What if I wanted to change the name of my list to something else? Say I want to call it my ingredients. My ingredients. Okay, if I run it now, of course we're going to get an error because, of course, I'm trying to use ingredients here, but the name of the variable is my ingredients, so it doesn't work. So that means I need to change everything to my ingredients. Okay, and we run that again, and it did work. Okay, what if I want to make, instead of putting my string directly in here, what if I want to put some kind of variable in here? So let's make a new variable. We'll say, I don't know, ingredient 1. And we'll get user to input it in. So input, what is the first ingredient? Okay. And then once we do that, we have to go my ingredients.append. And in this case, what am I appending? I'm appending the thing that we have gotten from this input, which is ingredient 1. And let's see what happens here. Okay, so it's asking me what is the first ingredient, And I don't know, I'll say imitation crab, enter, and you can see here that it did that wasabi and rice. That was from this one and this one. But then I inputted imitation crab into ingredient 1, and then it appended ingredient 1 into my ingredients, and so it is there in the list. You can see that there. Okay, so that's basically how to create an empty list and to add things into that list using both direct strings and also variables. Okay. Note that I did not use quotation marks here. That's because this is a variable name. If I had put quotation marks, it would not have got my imitation crab. It would have just appended ingredient 1. Let's see. Imitation crab. And of course, here it is. Ingredient 1. That's because it is in quotation marks. So it's not recognizing it as a variable. But if you take away the quotation marks, then it will recognize it as a variable and it will do it correctly. Alright, so that's it for this video, and we'll see you in the next one.